Renal Williams' body found. 4 arrested for fatal assault. Nearly 1,000 active Rona cases nationwide. And how federalism can help save Guyana. I am Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. This afternoon, the police located a decomposed body suspected to be that of Renal Williams in a trench on the East Coast near Colditch. Williams has been missing since May 23rd after he was ran over and driven away by someone who claimed to be taking him to the hospital. Investigators have since rearrested the owner of the car, but they are yet to confirm if he was the driver at the time of the accident. However, it is strongly believed that he is in fact said driver. The police had reportedly told Williams' relatives that the owner was not driving and that someone had used his car without his permission. The Guyana Civil Aviation Authority is warning of a fake memo on social media claiming that American Airlines intends to discontinue its Guyana service in August. According to the GCAA, it made contact with the airline's headquarters in the U.S., and it was indicated that the airline has not issued any such statement. So you don't have to worry, you can still fly to the U.S. on American Airlines come this Christmas. Guyana has recorded yet another senseless killing. Yesterday, 23-year-old mother of 2, Carol Davidson, was murdered in broad daylight by 3 women and a man in East La Penitence, Georgetown. It is suspected that the assault was related to an old grievance between Davidson and one of the female attackers. Eyewitnesses said Davidson got into an argument with the 4 persons who surrounded her, and when she tried to escape from them, they chased her down and beat her before stabbing her in the chest. The 4 suspects were identified by eyewitnesses and have since been arrested. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is the 2016 Suzuki Jimmy Sierra 4-wheel drive. It comes with regular and low-range 4-wheel drive, Bluetooth, mud grips, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $3.4 million. All pay as low as $700,000 down, with around $67,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them you sent you for this sweet deal. 1 month after being found guilty of attempting to extort $10 million Guyana dollars from her ex-boyfriend over a false rape claim, 20-year-old Princess Williams has been sentenced to 3 years in jail. Last year, she originally pleaded guilty to the crime, but later changed that plea to not guilty, which resulted in a trial being held. However, she lost said trial, obviously. However, this will not be Williams' last court appearance. She is also facing a charge for escaping lawful custody. That case is still ongoing. The man whose body was found with a suspected gunshot wound at Self-Help Square, East Rumfelt, Georgetown, has been identified as 49-year-old Dexter Lynch of Matawini, Linden, Susdike Highway. The police said yesterday that Lynch's brother positively identified his remains. 34-year-old taxi driver Rameshwar Singh was reportedly robbed of his Toyota Premier on Sunday night while returning from the Chedichagan International Airport. Singh told the newsroom that 15 minutes after he left the airport, he observed a white car following him. He also claimed that the suspects crashed into the back of his car near Providence, and when he stopped the vehicle and came out to inspect the damages, the other driver also got out of the car to do the same. But according to Singh, while they were both inspecting the damages, the suspect jumped into Singh's car and drove off. The only thing he remembers about the suspect is that he was of East Indian descent. He said there were also persons in the suspect's vehicle, but he couldn't make out any details about them. 36 police officers from across the nation have embarked on a 4-week 4-wheel driving course. The training program is aimed at equipping ranks with the theoretical and practical aspects of driving and transforming them into competent force drivers. The GPF also explained that the training will help them to understand the theories and rules governing the use of the road by an emergency vehicle, defensive driving, and responsibilities that come with being a force driver. For the best crutch in Guyana, that should read, for all sizes of clutch disc and pressure plates for heavy-duty trucks in Guyana, check out Powered Automotive. Get this and other high-quality truck parts at the lowest prices. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Health authorities are currently monitoring 949 cases of the Rona. New infections have been recorded in all regions except Region 8. However, the health minister cautioned that this could mean that the district is lacking in terms of testing for the virus, and not that they actually have no new cases. Within the last 24 hours, a total of 157 new infections were detected nationwide. Region 3 alone makes up over half of the nation's active cases at 524. To date, 442,590, or 86.3% of adults, have received the first dose of a vaccine, while 342,250, or 66.7%, have received 2 doses. So continue to mask up as always, because the Rona is still out there. Now for today's oil update. According to Hess Corporation, the hull for the Yellowtail oil production vessel is complete and sitting in Indonesian waters, waiting to travel to Singapore once the Prosperity, another Guyana-bound vessel, is complete. Prosperity is the FPSO vessel which will be used for the Payara project in early 2023. It is under construction by SBM Offshore at the Keppel Shipyard in Singapore. The hull for Yellowtail will be outfitted for the One Guyana FPSO, a vessel that will be producing 250,000 barrels of oil per day as early as 2025. At the introduction and ramp-up of Yellowtail, production offshore Ghana would reach at least 830,000 barrels of oil per day. Now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? The current government structure in Guyana is a terribly outdated relic of our socialist past that needs to be thrown out like last week's rubbish. The centralized power structure encouraged authoritarianism, corruption, discrimination, and just general disorder. A centralized structure allows the government of the day to use the full powers of the state to only support which efforts it feels worthy, while the people living in the other regions must suffer under the rules of a tiny group of people from the capital who have absolutely no idea what daily life is for them. This is why I believe that we need to become a federal republic. Like Switzerland, for example. The powers of the president over there are extremely limited, as they are mainly just a figurehead. In fact, they have 7 presidents who basically rotate the position each year, so none of them can gain too much power. Over there, people in each region directly vote for their representatives in parliament, and not just for the party. And they also have their own local representation as well. Additionally, the regions are also empowered to institute their own taxes and laws, and if the law is considered unreasonable or unconstitutional, people can challenge it in their high court. We should consider a similar structure. Now I know this won't solve all our problems of governance, but it could be the spark that increases civil engagement and a love of nation. By directly empowering the voters of Guyana, more citizens will feel a sense of ownership in their communities, and that sense of ownership is necessary for a strong democracy. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question of current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Yesterday I asked, what issues is the media not covering? Roshana Lal asked, where is the oil money? You know, that's actually a good question. While the majority of the money is still in the account in New York, according to DPI, the government has yet to announce how they are spending the $200 million they withdrew on May 10th of this year. DPI has yet to tell us anything about that. Videsh Karim says, the media is not talking about how Guyana is 6 feet below sea level. You know, a lot of people aren't talking about it because they lack foresight and critical thinking skills. Prince 14 asks, I want to know why they open the new road, but every morning only one lane is working. So instead of using that road to head up the East Bank, it forces persons to go back on the East Bank Road, where it takes 25 minutes from DSL to Eccles. Again, I believe that answer is a lack of foresight and a lack of critical thinking skills. Willow Darrow says, the media seems to never make any follow-up or bring any results from court cases from incidents they covered. An example is the unfortunate truck/child incident a few years ago, I believe in Eccles. It would be nice to know the outcome or the investigation results. That incident, for what was covered, gives me the impression that if you get into an accident similar to that, you should flee the scene or get beat up by the community. Just saying. Honestly, I've noticed that trend about the media not covering the results of cases. That's why we actually do that here. And in fact, to answer your question, the truck driver got off. Kaieteur News reported on August 11th of last year that he was released after the prosecution failed to provide key evidence on the matter. For the same reason, Gary Best got off. he was charged with dangerous driving, and apparently the prosecution couldn't prove that he was actually driving dangerously. Now, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can smash money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. With the recent uptick in cases of the Rona, should the government reinstitute some of the previous restrictions, or should we just continue as business as usual? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.